Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam, that's Jake, and we're back again for another great episode. On tonight's episode, we have a little bracket challenge of our own. Jake's going to be going through some 2024 product releases. We're going to get your guys' input as well. We're going to go over our YouTube comments from last week. A lot of good stuff in there we want to respond to on the show tonight. An ISO handle follow-up. I'll let Jake take that one once we get to it, but some good stuff coming out of that. HomeGymCon update. The new Rogue Monster Rhino trainer thing looks awesome. Jake and I had a separate conversation about how sweet that looks. And then we're going to get into the survey results before we wrap this thing up. So, Jake, the bracket challenge. Let's see it.
At the end of each year, we usually break down our list of what we think the top products for the entire year are. I have done my best to assemble the top 16, and then we are going to do some voting in the Garage Gym Experiment Instagram account, totally inspired by the Home Gym Hub. So we've done stuff like this in the past, but it's been a few years. We used to do those hot or not surveys, and like people could vote for like the hottest product of the year and stuff like that. So it was kind of hard to get it down to 16, and a lot of it is like big products, like a lot of cable systems and stuff like that. So I put 16 products here. This is just kind of a placeholder. So if you're looking at this list and you're saying, oh, these are out of whack, we need to reorder, or this product should be on the list, let us know in the comments. We will consider it. I actually just whipped this up pretty quickly. Adam, I'd like your feedback as well. But I'll just go down my list of top 16 products for the entire 2024 year and talk about, and then we can go into the bracket real quick. Number 1, though, I went with the Rep-Ins. Number 2, I actually went with GetRx RX3 Tornado Series racks. Number 3, the FM6 collection from Rogue. 4, Adonis cable tower. 5, Aries 2.0. 6, where's 6? 6, Bulletproof VTS. I'm kind of lumping in both of them. 7, HyperPro Freak Athlete. 8, Pegasus attachment from Rep. 9, Force USA C10. Number 10, the Dane from Fringe Sport. Number 11, Bells of Steel Smith Machine. Number 12, Prime Shorty Bench. Number 13, Relentless Ripper from Torque. Number 14, the Edge Infinity Bench from Exponent Edge. 15, RX3 freestanding single column trainers. Gluck just did a review on those. And then number 16, the Rogue Rower. So we've got some first round matchups that we will post on Instagram. And I think there might be some good first rounds as of right now. But Adam, I know you haven't done a ton of brainstorming on this, but any thoughts on this list, 1 through 16, that I put together?
Well, I'm always looking for the upsets. Since it's going to be put out to the community, a big upset that I think could take place is a 2 versus 15. As a Purdue basketball fan, that's a little soft one there. But that freestanding single stack column looks awesome. And I'm not sure how much love the Tornado Series rack is going to get. I don't know. I think people love their racks, and when they're thinking about products, at new product releases, it's more stuff that they would bring in rather than stuff they replace. That could go down. And then I was also looking at the Adonis cable tower, kind of making it to the championship over the Rep-Ins on the left side of the rack. But personal bias, because the Adonis cable tower is my favorite. So
yeah, I don't think so. I was thinking
the Tornado.
Yeah, the first one. I think people are all about the new Tornado Series racks. I do think they're about those. I had questions about the Dane and the Hyper Pro Freak Athlete.
Yeah. People who get their hands on the Hyper Pro are like all about it, which is great. That means a lot. But I think you're right. I think for the masses, like looking in, yeah, an all-in-one rack over that.
Yeah, and again, I think some of the seating could be rearranged. So feel free to add your thoughts into the comments. Like, what did I miss? I do think, these are all like, there's no like smaller made in America companies. None of them made the list off the top of my head. So feel free to try and convince me there. There's no promises. It's kind of tough. Whole year, 16 products. To make this list is kind of a big deal. I mean, the Rogue Rower was number 16, you know? So...
you get a couple play-in matchups, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then there could be a few products released this month. So this is kind of just a placeholder. We'll probably do this early December, and we'll reveal the results here. Obviously, you'll be able to see the results on the Instagram story, but we'll talk about them here. So let us know what you think. All right, let's move on to some comments from last week. So there were a few people who were very specific on comments from Adam. So Adam mentioned like the annoying squeak with the chrome attachments. A couple people just said you can use some 3-in-1 oil or barbell rescue to help with the annoyingness there. Gray Matter Lifting, who is a mag grip connoisseur.
Connoisseur. That exact phrase was in my head when you were saying that. That was awesome.
He appreciated us giving some positive feedback to them. I think he's doing a giveaway or something like that too.
Yeah, we talked about the flat cable tricep attachment. Remind me of the company, Jake. There was some drama with that company. They came out with the spotter arms. Okay, they came out with the spotter arms. They kind of disappeared. Some people didn't get the products. Not sure where we kind of left that. There seemed to be some stuff that happened, and they're back now. Well, Mag came out with a similar product, only this one you can attach as a pull down as well as a flat tricep extension. Gray Matter, over on his Instagram page, he's doing a giveaway with it. It looks sweet. The giveaway is taking place before the product hits their product page. So you won't find it on the Mag product page until they release it, but it is featured over on his page.
Yeah, I saw that product. It looks kind of confusing. I'm sure it's great.
I want to buy it. I want it.
Yeah, it looks cool, but I wasn't exactly. I didn't do a deep dive. I wasn't exactly sure how it worked.
Right.
Let's see, what else do we have here? So the giant open trap bar is especially great for a small gym. The shorter sleeves and knurled handles are great. And then a lot of people had suggestions about your easy curl bar attachment. So you said there wasn't.
I got 4 or 5 good DMs about that also. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mayhem Strength was one. Rory said that the knurl might be a little too aggressive, though.
Is he calling me a pussy?
Other people said Rep, and then also Bells of Steel has one. So
yeah,
there are definitely options out there.
I like the Rep one. I put it in my shopping cart. I didn't check out with it yet. I want to do a little bit more searching, but yeah, definitely want an easy bar.
Also, the T-Grip cable. T-Grip is an individual brand. I think American Barbell sells that brand. I mean, it looks like a cool, well-made bar as well. I've seen it in the past. There were a few people who also agreed with us about the knockoff mags. Like they just didn't do the job, and they ended up selling them. T-Dog 29 is looking at a set of Kinzu paddle handles. I'm not exactly sure what those are. All right, so okay, so we also we knew supinated and pronated, but we didn't really know the difference or which one was which. So supinated, Mr. Alexander Smith says, picture a bowl of soup held in the palm of your hands facing you. So I did do a little bit of research, and that is for more of a bicep workout, whereas pronated is opposite, palms facing away from you, and that is going to be more for the upper back and lats. So supinated for the curls, and then for the biceps, a little bit of back, and then pronated more focus on the back.
Frustrated at whoever gave me the analogy of Superman. You fly like Superman, those palms facing down. I had it completely backwards the entire time. Supinated up like a bowl of soup. Okay, that's good. Alexander, thank you. That's good.
Michael said, why does ATX even come? They aren't even for sale in the U.S. yet. So from my understanding, they were targeting, after HomeGymCon last year, they were targeting 12 to 18 months. It's only been about 7 months since HomeGymCon last year. So, I mean, that gives them, it could still be another year before they make it to HomeGymCon. Jim Crafter said most of Force 6 makes was made by someone else first, just saying. So we're going to touch on that here in a minute. Thank you for doing a cable segment. So
people
good.
Like the cable segment.
People did like the cable segment, and it kind of tells me the type of stuff that we should really try and be talking about, or the type of segments that we should be doing during these podcasts. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the ISO handle follow-up. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, or 2 podcasts ago, we covered the Force 6 single handle with the swivel. We kind of covered it as like a groundbreaking attachment, and it is cool. Then Porter Phys Ed sent a DM and said, by the way, I posted a DIY project of pretty much this exact same thing 2 months ago or something like that. So we, without doing any additional research, I simply regurgitated that and was like, oh, by the way, 2 weeks ago we covered this. Porter Phys Ed actually did this, so don't want to give Force 6 too much credit here. However, I got a message and said, hey, just FYI, I did this back in July. Here's an Instagram post, and let me show you this real quick. All right, so that is Mario with the cable attachment from about 17 weeks ago. So he clearly had it in production and was doing something along that lines. I do want to apologize and say I should have done a little bit of extra research before I just went and said that. And then I also went back and saw that Mutant Metals had a similar option that they showcased at HomeGymCon. JD Gym Equip just came out with one. So it's one of those things where probably didn't need to really cover that. And it's, again, one of those kind of topics where no one's really reinventing the wheel, and just because they make a similar product doesn't mean they should be persecuted. So I just wanted to cover that. All right. So while we're on it, I also mentioned that Force 6 is well known for creating a replica of the barbell anchor from Darko. And he did create a similar product to Darko, but I just wanted to highlight, he's created quite a lot of products within the last year or so. So he's got everything from handles to, belt squat collars, performance pin. Let's see. He's got weight extenders. So a lot of it is similar products to what we see on the market. However, they really do have their own spin on it, at least for most of them. And I do think a lot of the flack that he's gotten has been overblown, most specifically because of his anchor, similar product to the anchor, which which actually is slightly different. It holds 4 barbells. So, this is just kind of a message, like maybe people should back off. It seems like he is in it to stay, and he's trying to do his best to create products for the community. If like his first product would have been a barbell instead of like the Anchor, the similar product to the Anchor, he probably wouldn't have get as much flack as he does. Because there are some similar products, but again, there's I don't know. I just think that he's creating products within his niche. I don't know. What do you think, Adam?
I could see both. If I'm being truly honest, I could see both sides. I do think that certain corners of the community do get kind of call outy. They like to point the finger a lot at creators and companies and things like that. And then Anchor and some of these products are pretty similar, but there's nothing saying that he can't do this and have his own catalog for it. So I don't know. I'm gonna play Switzerland here.
All right, let's move on to a HomeGymCon update. So I'll keep this quick. We are up to 108 vendors, still 8 different countries. Number 9 could be coming soon. They've kind of been teasing, but if you can see on the map, I have some space held for them. And then also in the top right, I'm pretty sure we're going to do a powerlifting meet. So posted in the Instagram stories, and like 90% said we should do it. So it was one of those things where we didn't necessarily pursue it really hard because powerlifting meets are quite a bit of work. They take it's big equipment, and we already had pretty much a decently sized schedule out there. But someone came to us and were like, hey, we're interested in doing that. So I think we are going to make it happen. So stay tuned for that. And let's move on to some new products. So yesterday, Rogue released the Rogue Monster Rhino Trainer. So this comes in pretty much 2 different options. So you can get it with the Rogue Rhino and the lat pull down, or you can get it with the Rogue Rhino and the lat pull down and the functional trainers on the front of the 2 posts. So prices range from about $4,900 to $7,100 if you get the full functional trainer. I actually was messing with the prices, and the Clear Coat actually adds like a couple $1,000s. So the Clear Coat M Rogue is pretty expensive. You can also get 4 or 6 posts. So on the screen you can see a 6 post functional trainer option, and then a 4 post slim just Rhino and lat pull down, which that looks like an awesome like little space compact setup right there. In regards to the pulley ratios, the lat pull down and the Rhino are 1-to-1, whereas the functional trainer is 2-to-1. It comes in just 2 heights, so 90 or 100 inches, and then there are 24, 30, and 40-inch rack depth options. You'll also need a rack roller to keep your knees down for lat pull down. So in general, the feedback I've seen is pretty positive. I'd say the only real concern is the plate loaded feature for the functional trainer. Adam, do you have thoughts on these guys?
No, they look awesome, super well done. I love the Rhino in the rack, and you're right, the one with it in the back of the rack, you still have your full rack. Yeah, it's premium for sure. Flex marks the spot. Another call out for him. He always does such a great job. He was highlighting some of these features. It looked like some sort of seat. I couldn't make it out. I tried to get back into his stories right now and see what it was. It looked like some type of built-in seat, maybe for the lat pull down. I couldn't tell. I'd have to do more digging, but
I also could not tell exactly what that was. But yeah, these took Rogue a decent amount of time, but I'm sure they're really high quality. And if you really want a belt squat, this seems to be the best integrated belt squat into a rack out there, unless you're like, you want that squat max, but that's going to take up extra space. Yeah, I would put this on my want list.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, next up,
clear
rack. Doesn't need to be clear coat.
That's a flex.
It really was like $1,600-$1,700 extra for the clear coat. Yeah. Another rack attached basketball hoop, this time from Bells of Steel. This guy's $99.99. You can only pre-order it though, and that seems crazy to pre-order 2 months out basketball hoop. It's made of steel, and the mounting hardware is included.
You know what?
Pre-order this one.
I really like this for like if you are a home gym owner or the spouse of a home gym owner. I love this for a Christmas gift because then you'll be like a month out. It's like you could buy it early, $100. Yeah, I think it's cool. I have no use for it in my low ceiling basement, but I could imagine if I had like a garage with tall ceilings, I would love to have a little rack mounted, just something like dink around in between sets. It'd be fun. My kids would love it.
Yeah, I've got a hoop on my wall.
Do you?
Yeah.
Man, it's been too long. All right, come down for a workout. Yeah. Sweet.
All right, let's move on to some survey data. What do you value most in a company when purchasing gym equipment? So one thing that I did leave out of this was just like overall value. So I think like bang for your buck or value is probably number one. But we added some other important options that companies can kind of distinguish themselves in another way. So customer service, being the innovator, general brand relevance, and then engagement with sport or home gym community. The easy number one was customer service reputation. Number two was being the innovator at 19%. Customer service had 49%, by the way. Engagement with sport or home gym community, 17%. And then brand relevance, 14%. To me, the customer service reputation kind of like just speaks to your company as a whole. Like if you have good customer service, you're most likely just a good company in general. And it's an easy like way to show that you're real. So I think that's interesting. And then everything else was pretty much the same, but there was definitely buckets of people appreciating one section more than the other. Next up, Smith machine. So 6 months ago, we asked what type of Smith machine are you most likely to add to your home gym. So this was like 6 months ago. So the options were fully rack attached, VTS, an all-in-one, or I'm not educated enough to answer. So 35% said I'm not educated enough to answer. The second most popular was fully rack attached with about 25% of the votes, VTS 21%, and then an all-in-one built-in like something from Forest USA about 19%. 6 months later, we asked a similar question with a little bit different options, and the results were kind of different. So the most popular, so we didn't include the I don't have enough, I need more information. So you had to vote, and we also included a standalone Smith machine as an option instead of that. But this was kind of a blowout. The fully rack attached add-on, similar to like the Bells of Steel new release, received 47%. The VTS received about 25%, so similar to what it had last year, but not even close to the number one option. Standalone Smith machine, 16.5%, and then the built-in all-in-ones, Forest USA or Vesta were the examples there, 12%.
Yeah, I love the fully rack attached ones, but I like the all-in-ones. I like a standalone. Yeah. When I voted standalone. I have the space for it, but like, man, all of these are great options. It's hard to pick one, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. I wonder how much of this is just because the new release is hot. Yeah, but they don't lie. All right, next up, we asked if you liked seeing founders in a company's marketing. And most people, the most popular answer was neutral, so 45% said neutral. but 44% did say yes, and only 11% said no. So there are about 4 times more people saying yes than no when asked if they like seeing founders within companies' marketing. And then, are you more likely to buy from a company that you've met in person? Yes, no, or probably. About 38% said yes, 31% said probably, and 31% said no. And then lastly, we asked again who's dropped the best products in 2024. Rep, Rogue, Other, and this time we added in GetRx, who did not beat out Bells of Steel from the last time we asked. So they received about 6.6%. Rep easily won with 48%, Rogue 27%, and then Other 18%. That's it.
That's all. Are we wrapping this thing up, Jake?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Unless you want to talk about anything else.
Do you want to talk about anything else?
You got some new items in your home gym.
I did get some new items. Yeah. I've had a busy buying season for the home gym. Birthday rolled around, grandma sends the check, so no, I'm just kidding. I was watching The Office and the Toby's thing, and he pulls out the grandma money from his shoe. It made me laugh. Yeah, no, I added some things, so I can talk about those. I added the Rogue Echo Vest. I got that from their Matte Black November Hot Deals. And then I thought I wanted like the heaviest one I can get, so I got the 20-pound pair to go in the front and back. And 40 pounds, that's a lot for that vest. In hindsight, I would rather go a little lighter so I could do like some jogging and stuff. Running with 40 pounds is a little much. That's more for like rucking, which isn't my style, but I'm trying to work it in, like when I walk the dogs or like take the kids on a walk, like a complete douchebag. I throw on a weighted vest and I go out with my dogs and my kids and stuff like that. I also grabbed a Black Widow landmine handle, and I was really pumped to use it. I used it last night, and it is awesome. It's their T-bar handle. I was worried at first it might be a little too narrow. I like not a super wide grip, but I don't want a narrow grip, and it's perfect. And their black powder coat is so good. I honestly love it. It's going to make me use my landmine a lot more than I do now. I would say I use it like once every 3 weeks before, and now I'm excited to do Rose again because I love that handle so much. Also grabbed a plate tree. My Strength Co plates were leaned up against my cinder block wall. It was such an eyesore. I knew I needed something. I kept going back and forth if I wanted to do wall storage or a plate tree, and I decided just a plate tree. I wanted something budget. I don't want to spend a ton of money on storage. You know me and spending money on storage. It's like my least favorite thing to spend money on. I hate spending money on storage. I went with Giant Lifting. They just had a bumper tree. It looks pretty identical to a lot of other companies. I sent you two, and you're like, They look the exact same. They might have been the exact same, just with different logos on them. But I put it together. It makes my space look so much better. Anything else?
Well, let me
December shirt's coming. So
let me add to your weight vest. So you sent me. I can't remember if you sent me like what you were about to buy or that you bought it, but I didn't look close enough to the weights that you added. But I've gone through phases where I usually take my dog for walks, and the longest for the day is like 45 minutes to an hour. And sometimes I'll throw on, they're long. Sometimes I'll throw on, and it's been a while since I've done this, so I go in like phases, but I'll throw like 30 or 40 pounds in my ruck backpack. And if I go that long, I'm dying by the end. Or it's like the beginning is the worst, and then the end. But like the 30 or 40 pounds compared to 20 is huge. And I know there's people that like ruck are way more hardcore with their rucks, but man, I'm telling you, it's like that last bit is like miserable on the shoulders.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pinching a nerve in my trap. Like after like about 30 minutes, I'm just like, oh, it feels so heavy, and it's like,
dude,
okay, I'm glad to hear that. It's not like something in like my
it's
traps
rough.
or whatever. It's a
yes.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, like
hopefully it becomes
truly like
a little tougher.
I'm like, let's get this over with.
Yeah.
So that's
like,
what I mean. That's what I mean. I'll go in like phases where I'm like, oh man, I just want to like have a normal walk.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I can imagine a weight vest with 10 pounds versus 20 pounds on each side is a big difference.
Yeah, and the reason I went with the 20s, Nice Like Mike did the same thing. He also grabbed it because I said, oh, you grabbed it too. The reason I went 20s is because the only weights they had in stock were 5s, and 5-pound pairs, and then 10-pound pairs is what I wanted. And then they had 20-pound pairs, but 10-pound pairs were out of stock. And you know me, I got to buy now, so I didn't want to wait. I just ordered the 20s, and it's heavy. Like
it's a big like I think the standard like CrossFit vests are like 20 pounds total.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's Murph for men?
I think 20 pounds.
Nah.
It's 20.
Do you think you take one out of the front and just wear it on your back, like wear a 20 on your back? How comfortable do you think that would be?
I mean, I wear the ruck bag. I
Right.
wear the ruck bag, and it's all on the back. So, yeah.
Might play with that. Okay.
Probably not best for like running, but I think probably walking you can get away with it.
Yeah.
I added a few things.
You did?
Smaller things.
You never share when you add things. You know that, right? I'll
I know.
come. It's like, oh yeah, I got that. And it's like cool stuff. All right, go ahead.
So I've mentioned in the past that I love my Ironmaster bench, but I do miss like sometimes the big girthy pad. So I picked up the Bells of Steel Hero flat bench. Have you seen that thing?
Right now.
Oh, it's awesome. It is. It's awesome. It's the perfect complement. I wouldn't necessarily want it to be my only bench in the home, but been flat benching a lot more since I've got that. It's pretty well made. It's and it stores vertically. Yeah,
that is
dude,
girthy.
It is girthy. It's a nice compliment to have. So
Did you
out
pick
of
that up in person, or did you order that? Because you're right down the street.
I picked it up in Indy.
Yeah.
And then so one thing over the years is I always kind of wanted to be like a kettlebell guy. You know, it's kind of cool to like, you know, you can definitely get really fit using kettlebells, and it's kind of impressive seeing people do stuff with kettlebells. And I always had a ton of kettlebells and never really used them. And I've learned that I'm not a kettlebell guy, and I'm finally cool with it. So I got a couple of the Bells of Steel adjustable kettlebells. And with the idea of testing them out to see if like, can I get rid of all of these other kettlebells, replace it with these two kettlebells? And I'm going to. Like, the two adjustable kettlebells is all I need. They're solid. They're well made. They take time to adjust, and there's some like jiggle when you use them, but they're nice. I'd rather have two of those, less space, and I'm in the process of getting rid of like the rest of my kettlebells.
How many do you have that you're getting rid of?
Well, I've gotten rid of some over the year, but I've had up to like 10 at a time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like over the years, because I did like reviews on them, and I wanted like a wide variety of kettlebells. Yeah. Primarily. In addition to like, I just had it in my head, like you need kettlebells.
I had the two that I had for a while. And I did like them for like, posterior stuff. But then when I brought in the reverse hyper, the Scout, I found that took the place of like my kettlebell work, warming up for squats and stuff like that. So that's when I got rid of them. Yeah,
there's just a number of things that once I got pulley systems, I just didn't use them as much. Not simply because of the replacing idea that you mentioned, but we just did other stuff like pulleys. Yeah. There we go. There it is.
Oh, If it's either going to be reps easy bar or that mag flat tricep that's next for me, to be honest. If that hits the market soon, I'll probably pull the trigger on that. Cool.
Nice.
All right. Where is my little script here? Here it is. That's going to do it for us. Did you like tonight's episode? Well, then be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow Neural News. Not subscribed yet? Check out the link below and sign up for more Home Gym content. Be on the lookout for HomeGymCon updates. You can follow HomeGymCon on all the socials and HomeGymCon.com. If you are an athlete and you're looking to compete, like I said, check out HomeGymCon.com, possibly adding that powerlifting meet soon. Jake, have anything else left for the listeners?
Nope.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.